So I had a client who wanted some data tables created. And so I think I had put in my discussion with him that we would just make it all online. But then he got back to me later saying, oh, we need to make this offline. And I was a little bit worried about that because for the longest time, I couldn't get it to work. DataTables itself provides an installation method, but it doesn't make it very easy to understand, especially in this. I could certainly, so anyway, so what I've been doing with people when I did some training is and I'll show you a recent example, is we just linked to everything in the table in the repository as a CDN. This is great, but it does require that the file be able to reach the internet, which to me is a given because most of us work on FileMaker Server, but apparently it wasn't for this particular client. So I had to figure out how to make it as easy as possible to work with data tables online. And so that's what I want to explore today and try to get this going. And I want to use the install guide to see how this works. I don't fully understand all of this. So hopefully we can. All right, so I'm gonna start by creating I have a starter file called DataTables starter, and I'm just gonna create a quick repository. Do this. This is just like my this is like the development environment, except for I have a couple data tables things in there to make it just a little bit closer to being ready to go. All right, so we did that. We got it all onto our machine. Now we'll do an npm install. See, Orlando, it doesn't take that long to do this whole process. I don't know how much you actually do it and for different reasons, but it doesn't take a whole lot of time to get this set up.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It's quick. Good. I noticed that when I downloaded this version, I had some 4 high severity vulnerabilities. So it tells me just to do an audit, npm audit fix. That's good because I don't know exactly what it does, but it found 4 issues and it fixed them. We might as well see what those were. So in my source control, I can see that there's a package lock -lock JSON file, and it has a bunch of changes. So it looks like what it did, this audit fix, is it said this version of this library is out of date. You need to update to the newest version, and it's just going to take care of it for me. So that's really nice to be able to have it identify what's wrong and then fix it at the same time. So, and it added a bunch more stuff too. So that's interesting. All right, so we got it fixed. I'm going to go ahead and commit those fixes as update audit. I'm going to do audit fix. So there we go. We've updated, and I'm going to just sync those changes back to my repository so that they are there. All right, so we'll now do an npm start, and the whole goal of this is my exploring how to make data tables offline. I have a table already set up in this repository. I have an index.js file. I'm going to get rid of all this stuff. And okay, so this is the basic setup. What I want to do, rather than doing what I did in the previous file, I don't want to link to all the CDNs to the online sources. I want to install it myself. I could, and this is completely a legitimate way. I could just follow their guide. I could do this download builder, and I could download all of the files and then stuff them in here somewhere. But I'm going to actually try because they mentioned that you can use NPM, the node package manager, and that's what I've been doing for all the other stuff. I'm going to see if I can understand how this works. Oh, maybe that's what I didn't do. Okay. So what it's telling me is I need to do an npm install of the libraries that I'm interested in. All right, so let's do that. Okay, so npm packages. The DataTables packages that I'll import, that I'll install, packages all the data table packages all export a factory function that can be executed with two optional arguments: the window object and the jQuery object that the data table should be attached to. I'm not quite sure what that means. For example, okay, so we're going to, once we install this stuff, we have to type this command at the top. Instead of doing import like we've done before, we're going to do a require. And we're going to require that. So I think, let's see if we can do this. Let's see if we can do this. So I'm going to use Bootstrap 4 as my styling. Looks like that's all I need to worry about right now. And I am going to install. Do I have to install jQuery? I think I do. I don't know why it's not letting me. Let's do this. So, all right, let's go over here to our package. And I think I need to install jQuery. It doesn't tell me to, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to say npm install jQuery in my terminal. Okay, got that installed. It added one package. Now I'm going to do npm install datatables.net. And that added another one package. And then I'm going to do the styling here. Import that. Great, and that added 3 packages. So if I go to my node modules folder, I should see data tables. Okay, there's I didn't want that one. That doesn't matter. Okay, there we go. So I have data tables and I have datatables.net -bs4. Okay, so now I have these packages installed. That's basically the same as what I did for the other library when I just linked to the content delivery networks. So here I am linking to where jQuery is, but in this case, I actually just installed it. And it's right there. And this is version 3.6, so that's the same. So this is nice because it's packaged up in here. And now that means that when I do a deploy, anything in this folder that I use will be automatically imported into my long string of text. So that's nice. I think that, all right. So now, let's see. Okay, so I've got that. Now I need to, looks like I need to, first of all, I need to require jQuery. So I'm going to ask this to require jQuery to use jQuery at the top. Okay. I don't fully understand this syntax, and I think it's because it's an older syntax nowadays. Try to do the import if I can. And then I'm going to do data table var dt var. Actually, I'll use const dt equals require datatables.net. Okay. Now it talked about, let me look at something because it talked about using the styling. It's interesting that it's not telling me. Huh. Okay, well, we'll see if we can get the styling to work later. Okay, so now, if I'm lucky, these two lines here, do an npm start, open up the file. So far, nothing will show up because I don't have any data in here. But if I add a column like title is first name, data is first name, title is last name. I'll just add those. Let's see. So there we go. We have added 4 columns. And I'm getting an error. Let's see. Oh, I misspelled require. There we go. All right. REQ, all right. Undefined is not near. Let me look at something quick. New window. TT offline. Tables not dead. Actually, I need to do. Oh, that's right. I forgot to do the window. So let's add that. So let's see. All right, so let's see if that works. There we go. Okay, so styling is off, but data tables is taking over. And it's allowing me to, it's displaying my columns. And if I add a row, so first name, first name, Jeremy. Do I have anybody else? I don't have anybody else waiting to come in. Okay. Last name, Brown. Load that up. Oh, I need to give it the others. Actually, I'll just remove these for the sake of time. All right, so let's see. There we go. Okay, I've got Jeremy Brown in there, and then I can do another row. Why would I want the red? I always do this. Smith. Okay. So now I've got 2 records, and I can do all the filtering. Nice. So great. So this is on its way to being greatly offline. Now I just need to, and this is what drives me nuts because this is where I get stuck. It doesn't tell me how to bring in the CSS. And I think that's because, well, I'm going to try what it suggested. I feel like data tables, what I'm trying to say, it assumes a lot. Let's try something here. It assumes that you know more about this stuff than I do. So datatables.net. Okay, so it's got this JSON. So that's what's coming in here. So what happened in this is, I don't think I need that actually. What happened is I first brought jQuery into this library, into this work. And is jQuery spelled with a Q, a capital Q? I forget. HIJ, it's lowercase. Okay, so I'm first bringing in JavaScript or jQuery, and I am putting it in that $sign. So this $sign kind of becomes the stand-in for all of the functionality of DataTables. That's fine, or of jQuery. And then because I think this is what's happening is I'm taking all of the functionality that's found in this folder inside here, wherever it is, and I'm assigning it all of its functionality to the window, and I'm assigning it to the jQuery symbol, the $sign. So I have access to all of jQuery, all of DataTables now. And one of the functions inside of there, in fact, I think the only function in there is this something is a data table method that it's found in that DataTables folder. So if I were to get rid of this line here, then I have nothing because this function doesn't know what data table is because I'm not accessing that library. Yeah, it's telling me that's not a function, data table. So put that back.
What does the window stand for? Is that a standard function or is that a variable?
The window.
Yeah.
So
you've assigned the dollar as a variable, but you haven't assigned the window. Or is that something else?
So according to W3, it represents the browser's window. All global objects, functions, variables automatically become members of the window object. And this is actually what we do with FileMaker. And actually what I did right down here is I'm taking the load data function and I am assigning it to the window so that FileMaker can read it and FileMaker can run it. I don't exactly know the syntax. I just know that this is what it's saying. I think it's saying, take all this functionality, assign it to the window, and assign it to the $sign. I don't know what would happen if I did that. I guess that works. Let's see. Yeah, that works. So I guess I don't need it on the $sign. I just need it on the window. What would happen if I'll have to read that and see because where did I go? Because it's an interesting idea. So this isn't a very good, I don't like W3 schools. I like the developer Mozilla project. A global variable window representing the window in which a script is running is exposed to the JavaScript code. Properties window dot. So it feels like, yeah, that's as much as I know about it at the moment. Window, it's all uppercase, interesting. So anyway, that's all I know, and it feels like this is now correct. Actually, does this work? I meant to see if this works. Yeah, that's still working. I don't know. Huh. Oh, it's because I think it's said in there somewhere that it's the default anyway. So we just need to apply it to the window. And if we didn't put it in there, it would just go ahead and apply it there anyway, but we try to be correct. We try to point it to where it goes, be explicit about it. Okay, so now this is working, but the styling is off, and I don't know, this is where I always get stuck. I don't understand why I am putting the data tables. I've installed data tables. The CSS is here. I'm gonna try, I don't know. I'm gonna try something and just see what happens.
We call the CSS in HTML file.
I could, yep, and I probably will have to do that, but I'm gonna just try. I don't know if you can require CSS files. Require datatables.net. Well, see that has everything in there. That's what's confusing to me is datatables.net BS4. That should bring everything in, but for some reason it's not. So I'm just going to try a couple things. Hey, Marty,
Hello.
I'm going to try putting that in. What does that do? That breaks. Okay, that's not right. This doesn't make sense because let's do a quick search. What does JavaScript require? I'll just go to Slack or Stack Overflow. Requires not a part of JavaScript. It is a keyword inside Node.js. Node.js isn't the dominant. Okay, so what is require? Require is not part of standard JavaScript API, but in Node is. It's a built-in function to load modules. Okay. So that's what this is doing, is it's loading the BS4, the DataTables Bootstrap 4 into this project and assigning it to the window. Okay. That's interesting. When we do, actually, this is interesting. I just discovered this. Hey, Bev, how are you?
Hey, sorry, emergency came up and I can't stay. Just wanted to pop in.
Hello. Build upload. So what's cool is, I mean, this is exactly what it does, is when we do a deploy, it takes the code that is in the jQuery file and the DataTables file, and it actually stuffs it in here. So now we see, here is our jQuery right here. And then somewhere down here is our DataTables, probably right in this area. So that's what these do, is it imports it into the project. And it's a lot easier than doing it's not easier, but it's easier in the sense that it's offline now. It's not linking to the CDN, to the URL. So that's interesting. Such a mess, but that's what it is. Okay, so we still got to fix the styling. So let's fix the styling. Oops, I need to start up my server. Let's do clear npm start. All right, let's let that run. Okay, so I'm not sure why. Let's go to the index.html and let's see if we can import it in. This is the other way that I know that I can do it. I'm going to go to this folder and I'm going to copy the remote file URL. And then I'll go to my index.html. Let's close this node modules folder. And I'm going to add this to the style tag. And I'm going to type import. And I think I have to do, oh, nope, what was that? Oh, I must have not copied it. There, okay, maybe that's what I want. So now I want to import from this folder where it's located, DataTables, .NET, BS4, CSS, Bootstrap 4 dot, I'll just do the min.css. Okay. So now let's load that. Oh, it's close. It's actually giving me the functionality of what DataTables is, but I think I'm missing something still. I think what I actually need to do is install Bootstrap itself. So let's do that down here in the terminal. Npm install Bootstrap. Okay. And so Bootstrap got installed somewhere. Let's see, BOO. Let's let it refresh itself. Boot. Where is Bootstrap? Why did it not get installed? Did it get installed? Let's look. Package JSON tells me Bootstrap got installed. Oh, this is version 5. This may cause a problem. There it is. Okay. Okay, let's try this. Let's just do this one right here. Copy file remote URL. Go to my index and do @import node modules. Come on, stop doing that. Why is it? Oh, I must be clicking on the wrong thing. Bootstrap. Bootstrap. Bootstrap min.css copy. Oh, relative path. That's what I've been doing. I've been copying the wrong thing. All right, so let's see what happens here. Nope. What did it say was problem? I wonder if it's because I installed Bootstrap 4. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do npm install Bootstrap 4. How do I do that? What's the? We'll try that one. We'll copy that instead. So let's do npm uninstall Bootstrap. And then do npm install Bootstrap 4.6. Yeah, that's it. So we'll copy the relative path. Okay. Well, let's keep going. It just suddenly quit on me, and so I started it back up. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we're going to see if this works. So we're supposed to be importing this code, the CSS, into this project. npm start. There we go. Oh, that works perfect. Now I learned a better way than even what I did earlier today. So I did my typical install, which is great. I like that method because it shows me, because the install method tells me which packages I'm using in my project here. That's great. And then number 2, it puts all of that stuff in this node modules folder. And then whatever I want to use, I can import it for the CSS. I can import it here in this style tag. For the JavaScript, I can import it in the JavaScript. And then when I go to deploy, npm run build :upload, it will take all of the code, all of the CSS, all of the JavaScript, and it will put it into that field. So now we can see some JavaScript or some CSS here. Got this, the Bootstrap CSS. We got jQuery, and we got the Bootstrap JavaScript. I don't have to do any, this is basically like the calculation method where you're doing a bunch of substitutes and calculates in a web viewer or in a calculated field. Here I'm doing the same thing, but here's the same result. It's an HTML field filled with all of the code, but it's brought in as static, and it just stays in there. So now this can be offline from my client. That is great. All I have to do, I do have to install these few things. I do have to then add this here and this, and I'm good to go. That's great. I hadn't cracked this until today, until both sessions. And this is a much better way than I had done this morning. So I like this. What are your what thoughts or questions? Gosh, sorry, my foster dog is making lots of noise. Let me go get him. Hey, buddy. What are you doing? Go, come on, Gus, come here. Gus, come on. Jeez. Oh my God. Foster dogs are crazy. I have 3 dogs, and then we've had a foster dog for 3 weeks and a previous foster dog for 6.5 months. So this house is filled with dogs. But all right. What thoughts, questions do you have about this process?
Yeah, so in the past, I would have just gone to the URL and copied and pasted all that code into my code. But this is a much better way of doing it, to just be able to import it all and just, yeah, having it all packaged together with Node.js.
I had to do that actually this morning. Here's my this morning one where I had to go to the site, get all the code, put it in its own folder.
Yeah, that's the way I would have done it. So I'm glad you showed me a new way.
And then
I like this.
still did the import via this way. So in my environment, we have to use this import method if we're linking to another file in this system. So that's why we're doing the import. But yeah, I mean, that would work too, and that works just fine, just doing a link to the local files. But I like this better because it's all right here. It's all packed. It's all organized a little better in my opinion. So, how about you, or Orlando? Was there any ahas on that?
Yeah, no, it's it's kind of similar to what you've been showing us with other libraries as well. So
Yeah,
that's awesome.
The whole import process becomes second nature to people, and it's good to keep that going, keep that alive. It'd be great if we could do that in FileMaker. We can kind of, I guess, already, but I guess we can access other files with scripts in it. But the only problem with those is those files have to have the same security settings as for the user that they have when they're logged into the main file. So I don't know. This is good because it gives me. It makes it clean and easy, and now I can go about my time working with where's FileMaker, working with this and getting it to work perfectly offline. Oh, let's make it run offline. All right, very good. Cool. I don't know. I guess
you have to turn your Wi-Fi off and test it now as well.
Yeah, and then Zoom will. Yeah,
That's the call.
I'm pretty confident because I don't actually see any URLs in here other than ones that have been commented out. And this is the CSS. So I'm pretty confident that this will work offline. But yeah, I will test that later and see if that is the case. Am I recording? Yes, I am recording. So yeah, that's, I don't know, that's the purpose of today. And I learned something new and actually learned to do it a better way the second time. So, that's about all. Marty, what have you been up to? Have you explored JavaScript at all or anything?
I was working with doing quite a bit with the HTML to Canvas, and took me a while, but I got it working in the code, and then basically it makes the PDF in Studio Code, but I can't get it to work when I have it installed in FileMaker yet. But there's a couple other things I need to kind of play around with. But I've been a little sidetracked, so I haven't spent as much time on it as I like to, but still trying to figure out how to do, still got to do different fonts and different images in it too. They have it layered. I guess there's a special technique or something that you have to do to get images, background images and things on the PDF.
Mhm.
And then again, I'm not, for some reason, I'm not sure why it doesn't work within FileMaker. Like when I hit the button to create the PDF, nothing happens.
Okay.
So
Well,
when I start attacking again, I'm gonna probably contact you and see, because I have a use for it. But right now I'm kind of doing something that's it's limiting my options by keeping it all in FileMaker and not using the JavaScript
mhm.
and not using that to Canvas. But that will be my first phase, and then the second phase will incorporate all the JavaScript and give me more flexibility. And I'm probably going to need some help with that. But at least I know what I can do with it. I've done enough research. I don't see any reason why I can't do what I need to do. I need to be able to add fonts. And I need to be able to add images.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's we can get
And
together.
multiple pages. That was another issue. To have multiple pages to the PDF.
Okay. Sounds like quite a tall order for one of your first times working with this. Right?
Yeah, that's why I decided I'm trying to get some basic features out first on this app, and it's not going to be full featured like I could be able to do it with the JavaScript, but it's going to be close. And once I get people to use that, then I'll have more time. At least I'll have the feature out, and they can use it, and then I can enhance it after that.
Oh, well, that's do you find it tough to like switch back and forth between the JavaScript and the FileMaker? Is it much less efficient for you?
Yeah, I haven't gotten used to the development yet.
Okay.
Mine doesn't always work. I don't know why. I have different folders, and then I try to load a project or whatever, and that one doesn't work. But if I go back to the old one, I do. So I just use the one that does, and I just copy all the HTML and put whatever else I need into it just to see how it works.
Okay.
But I need to learn a lot about how to use that more. I did incorporate some of the data tables. I mean, you'd helped me with before, and got that. I haven't implemented that yet either, because it doesn't. The one thing I haven't done is the having the JavaScript trigger FileMaker script.
Okay.
Right. So each line, I need to be able to click on that line and pull up a card window or something, or do something in FileMaker. Otherwise, it's basically just a search mechanism,
right,
to look at something that's on the list. Well, that's not very useful with the rest of the system.
Yeah.
Right. You got to be able to go back and interact with the rest of the data on that particular record. So that's another separate project. So.
All right. Well, I'm always available to coach people along in their JavaScript world. That's what my business is supposed to be. I'm trying to let go of certain clients that are more long-term and just focus on the trainings and I have 3 people in my current training on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and I think there's like 5 with Orlando in the Thursday training. So that's good. I'm not sure which I like better, the long form 3 hours or the 1 hour 75 minutes training. There's definitely advantages to both. So anyway. All right, I think we're gonna call it. I've got to prepare for 5 for my my training session. I need a nap and I need some food. So
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Jeremy.
yeah. All right. Talk to you later, guys.
Talk
Bye.
to
See
you.
you tomorrow.